stop going to war. Let's stop with the unintended consequence of making the world a less safe place with our military interventions. In 1999, good news, bad news. In 1999, I was the highest elected official in the United States to call for the legalization of marijuana. Bad news is, in 2016, I'm still the highest elected official in the United States to call for the legalization of marijuana, although Bernie Sanders apparently rolled out of bed, hit his head, and has been doing the same. I'm glad that that phenomenon happened because it is advancing the issue. But amazingly, in this country, 56% of Americans now support legalizing marijuana, and not one elected official at the gubernatorial, congressional, or senatorial level supports legalizing marijuana. I cannot think of a bigger disconnect that exists in American politics today. I came at this from the standpoint of half of what we spend on law enforcement, half of what we spend on the courts, and half of what we spend on the prisons is drug-related. And what are we getting for that? Well, 90% of the drug problem is prohibition-related, not use-related, and that is not to discount the problems with use and abuse, but that should be the focus. So right now in this country, there are tens of millions of Americans who are convicted felons that but for our drug laws would otherwise be tax-paying, law-abiding citizens. And right now, the makeup of federal prisons, the main category of makeup of federal prisons, are those individuals that have sold drugs on numerous occasions, small amounts of drugs on numerous occasions, and been caught. Mandatory sentencing. We have the highest incarceration rate of any country in the world, and the drug war is at the heart of this. I believe that by legalizing marijuana, that this country will take a quantum leap when it comes to understanding drugs and drug abuse. And bottom line, why should any of us be denied the choice to use marijuana, if that so be our choice, as long as we're not putting other people in harm's way? And something that I am getting to say over and over and over again on every single media interview that I am giving is, I was the former CEO, president of Cannabis Sativa, publicly traded company, and as you all know, marijuana products directly compete with legal prescription drugs that statistically kill 100,000 people a year, and that there has not been one documented death due to marijuana. That is amazing. That should be a choice. And I have always maintained that recreational marijuana, legalizing recreational marijuana, will lead to less overall substance abuse because it's safer than everything else that's out there, starting with alcohol. The campaign to legalize marijuana in Colorado, a campaign based on marijuana is safer than alcohol. A big issue that you all come up against all the time is impairment. Government needs to establish impairment. Impairment needs to be established. But as we all know, impairment under the influence of marijuana does not remotely compare to the impairment when it comes to anything else that's out there. I point to the Canadian snowboarder, Ross Ribaldi. I'm butchering his last name. He wins a gold medal in the giant slalom, Vancouver. After that gold medal run, he tests at 15 nanograms of marijuana. The DUI in Colorado and Washington State is 5 nanograms. So they're saying that you can be triple DUI under the influence of marijuana and win a gold medal? Boy, that sounds like impairment to me. But this is what I'm able to state out here on this campaign trail, and I don't know what impairment is. Something way, way beyond 15 milligrams, but it is an issue that is out there. And as you all know, there's just incredible products that go along with marijuana. And right now, legislatures around the country are embracing CBD because CBD doesn't incorporate the boogeyman drug THC. Well, CBD does have a remarkable impact on epilepsy, kids with epilepsy, and all sorts of other maladies that are out there. But whole plant CBD, the effects of whole plant, of course, dwarf from a standpoint of efficacy just CBD. So I was talking to a researcher in Washington State